In the brief exercises of your book, beginning on page 7-53, starting with 17-22, is a series of multiple choice questions. And I'm just going to go through these fairly quickly so that you'll have something to look at and hopefully you'll understand. But so number 22 says, which of the following would not typically be associated with improved quality of a manufacturer's output? And improved quality of output would, the answer to that, the choices are reduced manufacturing costs. Well, you would expect that. Higher levels of inventory holdings. That's the one. Most of the time we get lower inventory holdings when we improve quality. Faster throughput times you would expect, and higher selling prices and increased revenues. That would go along with better quality usually. So number 22 will be A. I'm sorry. Number 22 will be B. Sorry about that. Okay. Number 23. Which of the following would not be a desirable outcome from an organization's investments in quality? And answer A is an increase in the sales return rate. That would be an external failure, and we don't want to increase external failure. So 23 is A. Okay, number 24. Total perceived quality, i.e., the total customer satisfaction with a product or service, can be defined as the difference between, and that's going to be the actual performance and the customer expectations. Now, that's not to say that you don't have some say in defining what the customer expectations are, because you can lead them to believe this is the best thing since sliced bread, or you can lead them to believe that as good as it is, there's going to be failures, because that's just the nature of this type of a product. So 24 is going to be D. Okay, 25. Which of the following is a distinguishing characteristic of using goalpost conformance for setting quality expectations? And the answer here is the use of quality expectations expressed as a specified range around a targeted quality performance level. And so what you're trying to do in 25, if we look at a normal distribution, you're trying to get your product between these two goalposts right there. And so 25 is going to be D. 26. Which of the following is distinguishing characteristic of using absolute quality conformance for setting quality expectations? And for absolute quality conformance, then you can use the Taguchi loss function. So 26. Now, the Taguchi loss function is very prevalent in Japanese manufacturing, and of course they have in German manufacturing now. And so they have some of the highest rated manufacturing in the world, although the U.S. has come a long ways. We've become quite a quality company their country over the years as well. Okay, 27. A Taguchi loss function, a QLF, depicts the relationship between quality costs and the level of deviation from quality using a quadratic function. And so what you've got with the Taguchi loss function is these are your accepted patterns. Here is your target, and your loss will be a parabola. Right? And so the farther you get away from the target, the higher your quality loss will be. And so that is answer D on that one. Hey, 28. Which of the following statements regarding cost of quality reporting is correct? A, total cost of quality consists of conformance cost plus non-conformance cost. And that is the correct answer. I didn't talk about it when we were doing the various things. We said that we can break quality costs down into appraisal. Sometimes I want to say avoidance, but and there's another group that calls it avoidance costs versus failure costs. Um, let's see. Um, so anyway, prevention, that's what I was looking for, the word I was looking for. So it would be broken down between prevention, appraisal, internal failure, and external failure. Okay, so prevention and appraisal is conformance costs, and internal and external failure are grouped as non-conformance costs. So 28 is A. The total costs are both the conformance and the non-conformance costs. Okay, 29. Which of the following costs is not properly characterized as a prevention cost? So quality training, that's a prevention cost. Supplier assurance cost, so that's making sure that your suppliers provide you with quality goods. I remember touring a Texas Instruments factory where they were making medical devices, and they had quality suppliers. They would get in a box of 1,000 components, and they would sample that, but they would just take a random sample out of that box and of three, and if one of them failed, then they rejected the entire shipment, and that was their standard right there, and so that's a supplier assurance cost. C, testing and inspection cost. That testing and inspection is not a prevention cost, that's an appraisal cost. So the correct answer on 29 would be C. Okay, 30. Which of the following costs is not properly characterized as external failure? Sales returns and allowances, those are external failure. Lost contribution to increased demand on constrained resources, that's an internal failure cost. So that would be the correct answer. 30 is B. 31. Which of the following costs is not a desirable characteristic of cost to quality reporting system? Exclusion of opportunity costs in the cost to quality report. Now, opportunity costs are very real costs, and so excluding that would be not a desirable characteristic. So 31 would be A. 32. Total customer response time, CRT, can be defined as which of the following? Now, we talked about this in an earlier exercise, and it will be B, answer B, the elapsed time when a customer places an order for a product and that order is delivered to the customer. So 32 is B. 33. Which of the following is not a characteristic of non-financial performance quality indicators? And the answer is D. They are predicated by a set of relevant financial indicators. No, non-financial indicators don't have any relevance to financial. No direct relevance. 33 is D. 34, part of the process of managing and controlling quality, of detecting poor quality and then taking appropriate corrective action. Which of the following is not a mechanism that management would typically use to detect poor quality outputs? That would be a histogram. A run chart measures things over time, that would. Statistical controls chart, that does. And a control chart, that's a plot. So A is a histogram. So 34 is the correct answer there. 35, a cause effect or a fishbone diagram is most helpful for which of the following? It is most helpful for diagnosing things. That's how you track things down, is using a fishbone diagram. What causes what? And that is B. And finally, 36, which of the following is a primary motivation for using a value stream income statement? And it's to measure the financial benefits of a firm's progress in implementing lean manufacturing. Lean manufacturing is a very interesting concept. In lean manufacturing, you try to get your inventories as close to zero as possible. So that makes life interesting because if inventories go towards zero, then they become non-material. And now you don't have to spend near as much time, and it saves on audit costs because you're not having to have professionals sit there and count inventory for 2 days. And so it's kind of an interesting concept, this whole lean manufacturing. On the other hand, as we saw saw originally in 9/11 back then, and then we saw just most recently with this COVID stuff, and we're still experiencing from this COVID stuff right now. Lean manufacturing has the downside of if there is an interruption in your supply chain, then you have nothing to manufacture, and so that becomes a problem in and of itself. Now, I guess that's really twice in about 20 years. Maybe that's not too awful. It depends on what the nature of your business is and what you're actually trying to manufacture and how important it is to society. So those are all decisions you have to make. All right, so that's a series of multiple choice questions, and good luck.